What I've got here for you is some working out for some of the answers for exercise 10b. Have a look at them and then maybe go back and do the exercise by yourself. So in question 1, you're doing some forward scanning and backward scanning on individual activities. That's all. 1a, we're missing a little p, algebra, so that's forward scanning, so we'll add up. 8 plus 4 is going to give us 12. B is a similar question. In question 1c, there's some forward and backward scanning. M will be something plus 4 equals 12. The answer will be 8. And backward scanning 12 minus 4, n is also 8. Question D, we've got two activities. Best way to approach this, I think, is to work out first of all what C is, because C could be 6 plus 5 is 11, or it could be 14 plus 3 is 17 with forward scanning. That makes the answer 17 for me, but the textbook says 11. And then backward scanning to find A, 15 minus 5 will give us 10. And 15 minus 3 will give us 12 for B. Question E, still part 1. Question E, forward scanning will give us F is 9. G will be 5 plus 7, which is 12, or it'll be 9 plus nothing, which is 9. So we want the bigger one, G is 12. Question F is also problematic as far as the textbook is concerned. I make Q is going to be 4 plus Q is 12. That makes Q equals 8. That's my first line of working. For the others, I've written out a bit of algebra. For N, all we know is that 4 plus P equals N, which I've written down there. And for R, all we know is that N plus R equals 12. Now that's not very helpful, but backward scanning will tell us that R is 3, because N plus R is 12, and R is 12 minus 9 equals 3. Having got that, we can then substitute that into one of the other equations, and we'll get N plus 3 equals 12, which means N equals 9. And then my last calculation, P plus 4 is now 9, so P is 9 minus 4 equals 5, which again I think are not the same as the answers in the textbook. You tell me if I'm wrong. Question 2, section of an activity network now. What is the duration of A? 6 plus 3 is 9, so the answer is 3. Question B, critical path is where the numbers are the same, 6, 6, 9, 9, 15, 15, so that'll be A, C is the critical path, activities A and C. Float time of B, float time, remember, is 13, which is the blue number at the end of B. Take away the duration 2, take away 6, which is the yellow 6, and that gives us a float time of 5. Latest that D can start is going to be the blue number there, 13, and the duration of activity D is going to be 2. If it can start at 13 and has to finish by 15, then the answer is 2. Question 3, another activity network or section of one. Duration of B, you can work out from the other numbers, is 12. Latest start time for activity E will be 10, the blue number at the beginning of E. The earliest time that activity E can start is 9, which is the yellow number at the beginning of E. The float time for activity E is going to be 12 minus 2 minus 9, which is 1. Duration of activity A, 3, fairly straightforward, and the duration of activity D is also straightforward, that is 9. Check out that you agree. Question 4, another one. Critical path of the project is the numbers which are the same in both boxes, so 0, 0, 12, 12, 22, 22, 42, 42, so that'll be D, E, F. And the other activities are the non-critical activities. That'll be A, B, and C. Remember, it's the blue box minus the duration minus the yellow box at the front of the activity. So 4 minus 3 minus nothing is 1 for A. B is going to be 12 less 8 less 3, which is also 1. And finally, activity C will be 22 minus 7 minus 0, which is 15. Those are the float times for the non-critical activities. Question 6 is where you are asked to complete the gaps in the precedence table and a couple of other things. So check out my answers. C has got 2 predecessors, A and B, because B has got a dummy connection, which I'm afraid I've scribbled over. Duration of D is 5, and so on. Just pause while you check out my answers and that you agree with them. To draw an activity network for the precedence table given, first of all identify any dummy activities. Well, there's an R there, which is shared with T and U on W, so put a ring around it and draw that last. Then you can draw P, Q, and R. This is just a sketch to start with. S follows from P, T follows from Q, U follows from S, B follows from R, W follows from T and U, so we want W to come down like that and across there for W. We'll put in R later. X follows from V, and if you're smart you'll see that that goes up there because Y follows from W and X, and then you can put your dummy activity in afterwards, which is W coming off R. There's your dummy activity. To make life simpler, I've made a big copy of that. I'm going to draw on there the boxes, and I'll pause while I do that. Scanning starting at 0. After P we've got a 4, and after S we've got a 7. That's fairly straightforward. After Q we'll have a 5, and after R we'll have a 12. Then we get to the place where several activities meet. This one here will be the biggest of 7 plus 3 is 10, 5 plus 6 is 11, or 12 plus nothing is 12, so we want a 12 in there. After V we've got a 16. After W and X we want the bigger of 12 plus 8 is 20, or 16 plus 13 is 29, and then 35, which is another 6 for Y. That's the forward scanning. Then your backward scanning, start with 35, 29, 29 is 35 minus 6. After 29 minus 13 was going to give us 16. I'm just going the non-controversial way first of all, and 16 minus 4 is 12. For the one in the middle, which is causing all the trouble, W we want, before W we want 29 minus 8 is 21. For U, 21 minus 3 is 18. Before S we want 18 minus 3 is 15. For T we want 21 minus 6, which is also 15. And the start is always 0, 0. The question actually asks for earliest start time and latest start time, so copying that diagram over to the next slide and looking at the answers, just check out the answers in the textbook. Earliest start time is going to be the red numbers I've got in the first boxes, and the latest start time will be the blue number minus the duration. So P is 15 minus 4, which is 11. S is 18 minus 3, which is 15. So on. Check them out. Critical path is the one that I've scribbled through there. R, V, X, and Y. And the whole thing takes 35 weeks. And that's it.